Hey, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Um, One of my favorite female vocalists of the 90s was Natalie Merchant. And her amazing voice fronted the band 10,000 Maniacs. Now, there was a period of time there where 10,000 Maniacs was very huge. Um, I don't really know what they've been up to lately, but for a period there, they were definitely on top of the world to the point where MTV gave them their own MTV Unplugged special. Now, the thing about MTV Unplugged is that there were some phenomenal full concert performances, whether you're talking about Eric Clapton's Unplugged, which really sort of skyrocketed the entire TV show to the point where kind of every band really wanted to do it, to Nirvana's live set on there, Alice in Chains' live set on there. And then there were other performances that had really good single songs, but the whole set wasn't necessarily phenomenal. And those are the ones that you would see get released on sort of like MTV Unplugged compilation CDs. You know, you'd get a song from Great White, you get a song from Kiss, you'd get a song from whoever. But they wouldn't actually put out the entire performance as a full compact disc. This is back in the day when compact discs were a thing too. So 10,000 Maniacs was one of those legendary shows, though. The entire performance was released on CD. And I think I had 2 copies of it. I think I had one, and then it got permanently borrowed by one of my sisters. And so I had to go buy another one. But just some phenomenal, it's a phenomenal full set. And so I'm going to do a song off of that live performance rather than do the studio version. And the song we're going to do is I'm Not the Man. Lyrically, it's a song that's about a man on death row for a crime he didn't commit, or at least he professes his innocence. Every time I listen to it, it sends thoughts through my head. So for me, it kind of reminds me of the movie The Shawshank Redemption. Listen to the lyrics, and we'll go over it at the end. Okay, here is 10,000 Maniacs and I'm Not the Man. her voice is fantastic. It's not the typical lead vocalist voice. It's um, a little bit more, bassy and um, anyway, her voice is fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm feeling a little confused, but it just entered my mind of another movie that the song reminds me of, and it reminds me of The Green Mile. That last line in there um, about the KKK makes me realize that the person subject matter of the song was probably well, let's just say it reminds me of sort of like the Green Mile, because um, we know, if you've watched the movie and you've watched it all the way through, no spoilers here, but we know that John Coffey, the Michael Clark Duncan character in it, was innocent, and it was Wild Bill um, who was actually the murderer in it, and he was in jail too, and clearly got his own just rewards when Percy shot him. But we know that because he was he was innocent, but nobody was going to listen to him because he was such a huge man. And it was a movie that took place in the South during a time period where a black man could not get a fair trial. And so, people were outraged at the murder, but they didn't really probably do the deepest investigation they possibly could. Because if they had, they would have realized that he was not the murderer, and that it was actually Wild Bill. But hey, the song reminds me of that, and I think it's a dark song. Kind of reminds me of a quote. Well, not even a quote, but a little story that Alison Krauss told during the Live in Louisville concert with Alison Krauss in Union Station, where she said, we heard this song and it was such a dark and depressing song, so we had to do it too. It's like, I kind of would like to hear Alison Krauss in Union Station do a cover of this song, because I think it would be a really interesting change of styles from what we're hearing here. Where 10,000 Maniacs was sort of a kind of a pop college radio friendly band, sort of along the lines of like sort of along the lines of Dave Matthews and also the B-52s. So it's done with a sort of a pop sensibility to it, and I'd kind of like to hear Alison Krauss do it from a bluegrass perspective. I think it would be kind of interesting. Anyway, with that said, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed Natalie's voice. I still revere her voice. I will still say that Tiger Lily, her solo album, was one of the best solo albums I've ever heard. It's fantastic. Anyway, with that said, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. We can talk about it further. And just know that I appreciate you and I wish you all well. Take care.